We have a new hands-on with the Galaxy S24 Ultra on top of confirmation of a faster chipset in exclusive colors. Before we get started, let me know in the comments who out there is excited for the Galaxy S24, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech. So first up, before we get into the reveal, for those of you that haven't seen it yet, Samsung have opened up the reservation page for the Galaxy S24 series, and you can get free Samsung credit in exclusive launch offers just by putting in your name and email address. There's absolutely no commitment to buy, so if you're even considering the S24, then go ahead and check it out now by clicking the link down in the description below or the card in the top right corner. Next up, we've got a tweet from the Galaxy, and he confirmed that the S24 Ultra is actually going to be running a faster version of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset, as it's been specially designed for the Galaxy S24. While the standard Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 has its Cortex-X4 cores running at 3.3 GHz clock speeds, this new overclock version is going to be running at 3.4 GHz. Now, he does however advise that this overclock version is only going to be available for certain regions, but it's only a minor bump in clock speeds anyway, so I wouldn't be too concerned. Next up, we've got news of exclusive new colors available direct from Samsung for those of you that want something a little bit different. The marketing renders were leaked and they showcase an orange, a blue, and a green color variant of the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And unfortunately, I can't show you the marketing renders because Samsung are taking the content down, but I've created these renders based on them to give you a full 3D look at the new colors. Now, the orange S24 Ultra features a silver frame, whereas the blue and the green variants have a black frame, and all in all, these look great for those of you that want something a little bit different. Next up, we've got pricing leaks from multiple countries now, and they generally show that the launch price is going to be the same as last year, although some of the higher storage variants may cost a little bit more. Now, thankfully, for those of you that are going to be ordering at launch, Samsung are again going to be doing the offer of double storage for free, so this means that you'll be able to get your hands on the S24 for the same launch price as its predecessor, as well as getting further offers on the Galaxy Buds and the Galaxy Watch. Now, a couple of months ago, we had the first hands-on photos of the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and surprisingly, we haven't had any more since until now. We've got two new live photos tweeted by Workaholic Dave on Twitter, and these show us the front and the back of the phone in reasonable quality. Now, there is some information covered up to hide the source of the leak, but the photos do appear to be legitimate, and as you can see from the photos, it shows exactly what we were expecting from the S24 Ultra, and it looks very similar to its predecessor, but of course, we've got a new titanium frame, along with a flat display on the front, and it's starting to look a lot more like the Note series that was cancelled some time ago. Now, of course, these images come as no surprise, as we've already had many marketing renders leaked, which I've based my renders on, but at least now we can be 100% sure that this is what the Galaxy S24 Ultra is going to look like. Now, for those of you excited for the Galaxy S24 series though, we're now going to run through the full specs, design, and the pricing for each model in the range to help you guys decide which one is right for you. For my regular viewers, you guys have seen this, so just skip to the next video, but if you're new here, then hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. The standard Galaxy S24 is coming with a 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED display with a peak brightness of 2600 nits. We get a resolution of 2340 by 1080, and it's going to be using Samsung's new M13 OLED panels protected by Gorilla Glass armor. We get a 12-megapixel punch-hole camera for the selfies, then on the rear it's a 50-megapixel primary camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto, and of course it's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in South Korea and USA, while European users are going to be getting the Exynos 2400. We get 8GB of RAM and a choice of 128 or 256GB storage, and this is of course UFS 4.1. It comes with a 4000 mAh battery, and it can charge from 0% to 50% in just 30 minutes. That we're getting 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, and Wi-Fi 7. Now, it's coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14, and it's expected to launch from around $800 on the 17th of January in San Francisco. Now, next up, we've got the Galaxy S24 Plus with a 6.7-inch 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. We get an upgraded Quad HD Plus resolution of 3120 by 1440, and it's going to be using Samsung's new M13 OLED panel, and again, it's protected by Gorilla Glass armor. We get a 12 megapixel punch hole camera for the selfies, then on the rear, again, it's a 50 megapixel primary, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 10 megapixel telephoto. It's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in South Korea and USA, and again, Europe users are going to get the Exynos 2400, and again, we get 12 gigabytes of RAM, and then the choice of 256 or 512 storage, which will be UFS 4.1. We get a 4,900 mAh battery, and it can charge from 0% to 65% in just 30 minutes. And again, we get 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, and Wi-Fi 7. It's coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14, and it's expected to launch from around $1,000 on the 17th of January. Now finally, we've got the most premium, the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And with the S24 Ultra, we got a 6.8-inch 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. It's got a resolution of 3088 by 1440, and again, it's using Samsung's new M13 OLED panel, protected by Gorilla Glass armor, with a peak brightness of 2600 nits. We get a 12 megapixel punch hole camera for the selfies, then on the rear it's a 200 megapixel primary camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, we get a 50 megapixel 5x telephoto that can also crop to 10 times, as well as another 10 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom. Despite previous rumors, it's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in all regions, and it's only the S24 and the S24 Plus that are still going to be using the Exynos. And with the S24 Ultra, we get up to 12 gigabytes of RAM with up to 1 terabyte of storage, and this is of course UFS 4.1. It comes with a 5,000 mAh battery, and it's able to charge from 0% to 65% in just 30 minutes. And we're also going to get 5G, Bluetooth 5.3, and Wi-Fi 7. Now it's coming with One UI 6 based on Android 14, and it's expected to launch from around $1,200 on the 17th of January. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra is actually looking like a decent upgrade from its predecessor. All of the new AI features alone make for a much better user experience, especially when it comes to the photography. The impressive 2600 nits display means usability is going to be so much better, especially in the sunlight. And the flat display is going to help when pressing the screen near the edge, especially for those of you using the S Pen. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 is of course going to bring huge improvements to performance as well as efficiency and better battery life, and overall I'm happy with the changes. Given its similarity to the S23, it's probably not going to make anyone with the S23 rush for an upgrade, but for anyone with an older S phone or looking to get their first S phone, then it's definitely going to be a great choice. With the official launch imminent, we'll no doubt get more and more information coming in, and I'm going to be sharing it as soon as it does, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.